Hello and welcome. My name is Barbara Babcock. I'm of Return to Wellness, and today I wanted to talk about how to feel more in control. With Return to Wellness, I am a coach and facilitator, and a large portion of my work is working with people who are experiencing challenging health issues or are in the caring role. And they may be struggling with an aspect of dealing with the health issue or dealing with their caring role, or many aspects of it. It could be they're seeking an emotional balance, they're trying to figure out how to manage a health issue effectively or to care effectively, managing the impact on relationships, returning to work, just returning to their lives. They want to get their lives back, and I help them do that. And you'll find that in my work, the concepts I talk about, like today, how to feel more in control, they're applicable to all of us, not just people dealing with challenging health issues. So if you think about where we are in the world today with the whole coronavirus pandemic, it's uncertainty has walked into our lives and become a friend, and we didn't ask for this to happen. And it's not uncommon for us to be thinking about, what am I to do? How can I feel better? Why do I feel this way? When will it stop? Who can help? I feel so out of control. And many people want to feel more in control. I'm hearing from people who talk about feeling out of sorts. They're waking up in the middle of the night and can't get back to sleep, and the anxiety feels like just another thing to overcome. And others are saying they're trying to control way too much, and it can feel draining, all of this. I too wake up in the middle of the night, and I too struggle sometimes to get back to sleep. And yet what I'm feeling, what you're feeling, what we're all feeling is actually a normal response in this very unusual time that we're living in. I want to normalize that. So, this feelings out of sort, the increased anxiety, it's a normal response. It's about what can we do to effectively manage it. So this applies to everyone right now. And I want to share this model with you that I keep coming back to it again and again to help me manage the impact of any anxiety I'm feeling, manage the impact of stressful situations and uncertainty effectively. It helps me regain control in my life, and importantly, it helps me to use my energy wisely, to expend my energy in the areas of my life that I value. And I've shared this model with many clients, and they always find this to be a game changer. It's a handy model you could just keep, tucked in the back of your head and refer back to it as and when you need it, particularly if you're feeling stress, anxiety, or a negative impact of uncertainty. And it could help you if you're dealing with, say, unpredictable symptoms in relation to your health issue, or any unpredictable events in your life outside of having a health issue. So let's look at what it is. So it's based on the work of Stephen Covey in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He wrote this book in 1989, and you might look at that date and wondering, oh my gosh, is this really out of date? And no, it's not. This is life skills. It transcends times, it transcends generations. It's applicable to all of us. And so let me briefly give you an overview of what's it about. So he talks about having these 3 spheres: sphere of concern, sphere of influence, and sphere of direct control. And our sphere of concern, these are events and situations and people we cannot control or influence. We have zero control over it. These issues are in our sphere of control. We'll have things that we can influence, but it may not always work. It may not yield the result we're seeking, the outcome we want for ourselves, or it may. And then we have things that are in our sphere of direct control. This is what we can directly control. So if you think about it, it's like a continuum. Anything that is further outside, like towards the sphere of concern and beyond, those are things that we cannot control or influence. The more it's towards our direct control, we have greater control over it. But let me give you some really concrete examples to show you what we mean with this model so that you can start applying it to your own life. So, our sphere of concern. Some examples of this are the tone of voice someone uses with you. We can't control the tone of voice someone chooses to use with us. What other people think about us, what other people say to you, we cannot control that. The economy. It's quite an abstract concept. You know, when you think about, oh, the economy, we can't directly control that. The fact that coronavirus happened, we cannot control that. So these are examples. These type of events and things that happen are in our sphere of concern. Items that are in our sphere of influence, we can have a go at influencing someone's behavior through our response to them. It may yield the outcome we want, it may not. We can have an impact on the economy through our vote, or maybe the job we choose to do. If we choose to work in finance, for example, for the Bank of England or management investment firm, we might have an impact that way. But for many of us, it's our vote. We can influence our health through the choices we make, what we choose to eat, our choice to exercise. That can all have a positive impact, positive influence on our health. And this is in recognition there are some aspects regarding our health we may not be able to control 100%. So, for example, some illnesses are an autoimmune reaction, and that's when the body can attack itself. It just ends up not attacking what it's meant to. It attacks the body instead. You cannot control that. But again, we influence our health through the choices we make. And then coronavirus. So we can't impact the fact that it happened, but we can influence the whole situation through volunteering, through helping a neighbor, a family member who doesn't live with us, a friend who may be struggling and could use our support through telephone chats, video chats, or a socially distant chat. In our direct control, so we can't control the tone of voice someone uses with us, but we can control our response to them. We can control how we feel about it. So yes, of course, when someone uses a not very nice tone of voice, we could feel really hurt and upset. But we don't have to unpack and live there. We could recognize when they use that tone of voice, this is how I feel. And when we know how we feel, then we know what we need, and then we can do more to meet our needs. We can set goals in relation to how we're dealing with coronavirus, how we're living our life at the moment, and what we want for ourselves. Regarding the economy, we can control our personal finances. And regarding coronavirus, we can wash our hands, we can observe government guidelines, we can have a daily routine, we can go out and exercise as much as we want now, given that we have been given that choice. So there are things within our direct control in how we respond to this coronavirus pandemic. So the whole point of this is when you're looking at a situation, you want to increase what's in your sphere of direct control and minimize what's in your sphere of concern. And this helps you to use your energy wisely, to focus your energy on the things you can directly control. So if you have a difficult situation, a stressful situation happening, I encourage you to use this tool and map the different facets of the situation against it. So you can say, right, what is it about this situation that is in my direct control? What is it about this situation I can influence? Whilst recognizing that might help me get the outcome I want for myself, and it might not. And what's in your area of concern? You don't have any control, nada, nothing. And importantly, how can you let go of it? Because if you keep expending loads of energies toward things in your sphere of concern, that energy isn't freed up to focus on what is in your direct control. So I hope you found this really useful. What I'd love to know your thoughts and any questions you have around it. You could leave your comments, your questions below the blog post in the comments section. You can connect with me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Leave a comment there. If you prefer, you can email me direct at barbara@returntowellness.co.uk, and I can take about 24, 48 hours to respond to queries. But also visit my website, returntowellness.co.uk, to download the Wellness Appreciation Workbook. This is a great self-coaching tool that helps you evaluate what are your levels of wellness like in various parts of your life, and importantly, what action can you start taking to increase them. So it's totally customizable to your life and your needs, and you can use it again and again. You could sign up to the Return to Wellness newsletter to get a heads up when I have a blog out and other hints and tips of how to look after your wellness, and also to read the blog. So thank you very much for joining me today. Come back for more and make sure to join the Return to Wellness community. Thanks. Bye.